New York Knicks, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We are finally relevant again. We made it to the second round. It's like first time in 10 years we even accomplished this. It's I'm gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry. It's really an incredible accomplishment, considering what the New York Knicks franchise has been through, over these last decades and just never really put together a team in the last 10 years that is even capable of making playoffs. So it's like, this feels good, man. If you're a New York Knicks fan, you should be excited for what's to come. And you know what? If you think that this is the peak of the season, I think the Knicks can go even further. Is this straight? I think the Knicks can go even further. I think that this team, the way it is, and I'm specifically thinking about a couple players right now. So Josh Hart, I gotta make a video on Josh Hart, man. Josh Hart, Mitchell Robinson, Jalen Brunson, RJ getting back into it now. You know what I'm saying? You got Obi in the mix, Quickly in the mix. You got Deuce McBride. You got Isaiah Hartstein. You know, this team is good. This team is very good actually. And I would not be surprised when we play the Heat that people are they're gonna start understanding that this Knicks team is well put together. You know, if you're choosing between the Bucks and the Heat is always who you wanted to play anyway. And that will be another tough test. Jimmy's not gonna let down. He's gonna play us physical, but we have the guys to do that, and I think Josh Hart is gonna be one of those guys. But that's a video for another day. For right now, I think that the future is looking very promising for this organization. And what we got to realize is that the Knicks now are in a position to change their future. Like now you not only do you have players that are good enough to make it through the playoffs, you now have players who have value. When you have valuable players, you become a valuable franchise. One of the problems that the Knicks always had is that they couldn't really provide anything to other teams in order to make better moves. So we would need to rely on drafts. And if you don't really draft well, except for the last 2 years, of course, well, maybe RJ Barrett is excluded in that because RJ, has provided a lot of value to the team, but it may have been at points early in his career that it didn't really matter. Because you're always going to need a point guard, for starters to even get your team going. And that's what Jalen Brunson brought. What Leon Rose and Will Ride West and them have done is they now created a team that has balance. You know, when you have a balanced team, it's easier to have pieces that interchange with each other. For example, having Randall go down, but you still have Obi. Obi is capable. You still have Quickly on the bench. You still have Deuce on the bench. You know what I'm saying? You still have Grimes, even though he's hurt. But then if that doesn't work, then you can look maybe changing things in the starting lineup. You know what I'm saying? Because we have players now that are interchangeable with each other, and I think that's the key. Like I just want to give that summary as to why we are successful now. Like we have players that can play different roles. We have players that fit different, systems that we try to play, especially defensively. I think that this is the best team Tom Thibodeau has ever had, and it's because of what he's been trying to do. Although at times, it was a little bit forced. Playing guys too much and not trusting. You remember earlier, not early in the year, maybe 2 years ago or so, Tibbs didn't really trust players, to come through for him if they weren't starters, and we got to the point where we had to sit some of these guys down because we didn't feel like these guys were actually capable of handling that type of pressure. And just going back to the point with RJ, for example, even RJ had ups and downs, but he found ways to keep himself relevant, and I think that has to do with, again, the competition that the Knicks have between each other now. They want to win, and these guys are not just looking at this as, oh, we won a playoff series. Congratulations, season over. These guys, you can tell these guys are looking for more. These guys, there's no doubt about it that there's a possibility, because I think they'll make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. There is a possibility that there could be more to come, and you know what I'm talking about. It's not that crazy to believe the Knicks can take it that far. A lot of people, a lot of people might not think of it like that, but you know, and I know, especially if you've been watching this channel, if you've been watching the team, um, depth is important. And this is a year where a lot of players are getting hurt. Star players are getting hurt, and availability sometimes is the best policy, and which you saw with Randall as well. Randall was healthy all year, putting up crazy numbers, and that allowed us to be successful. Now, in our case, it's strange because we tend to play well without him also, but I do believe that certain matchup favored Randall more than Obi. So it's not like you can go without Randall per se all the time. But I think that there's enough trust in Obi to be able to have him come in when he needs to. And I think that's important to note also. Like just having the depth, like I said before, to be able to have parts that are kind of interchangeable now, and you can make these type of adjustments as you can go on throughout series. You can trust certain guys to make it, throughout series. Even though last night it was a grinder, towards the end. But as poorly as I thought the Knicks played in the fourth, defensively we played well, and the Cavaliers just played. They played worse. They looked like they were ready to go home from the first whistle, So it wasn't no surprise there. But I do think that now the Knicks need to focus on the Heat. I think defensively, if they keep playing like that defensively, they're gonna win a lot of games. I'm telling you, if you play defense like that, trust me. There's always a saying, defense wins championships, and no doubt about it. That's the New York Knicks have gotten better as the playoffs have gone on. I didn't think they ended the season well defensively, but now, having that defense back locked in gives the Knicks so much more options. And speaking of defense, Mitchell Robinson was fantastic. I think that's the best game I've ever seen him play. So I will come out here and I say I apologize. I do, because I didn't really say many good things about Mitchell Robinson. But I think he has proven himself now. I think now he's fully healthy. He seems very conditioned, to these playoffs. I think that he has provided value that is immense in these playoffs, and you hope to see more of it. I think he's immense. Like he's clearly established himself as the best center this team has now, and this is him at his best. Him at his best is scary. He basically took out Allen. He basically took out Allen and Mobley by himself. Really, they were non-factors. Which is crazy because I rate Jared Allen very high, and I didn't think that Mitchell Robinson, could do that by himself. But he showed how capable he is of making that happen. And if the way the New York Knicks are grabbing these rebounds, it's gonna lead to victories. If you're getting second chance point offensively and even defensively, you're grabbing the ball. There's no way, because this team is good offensively to make plays and find players and make shots. Even though I think we could shoot it better, but just having the opportunity to shoot again just changes the game. But I'll make a separate video on that. I think I got a video coming on Mitchell Robinson. I got a video coming on Josh Hart. I got a video coming on Obi. Got a video coming on Quickly. Got a video coming on Randall. What I'm saying? We got a lot to talk about. I think it's either we either play Sunday or Tuesday. I think we're gonna play Sunday, right? If I'm not mistaken. I didn't get a chance to check the schedule, but it's either Sunday or then the following week. I think since the Bucks are eliminated, we're playing on Sunday, so we got some time to rest. Randall needs to rest that ankle, but we got like 4 or 5 videos to make. But I just wanted to say, man, be happy. Be happy tonight. We deserve this, man. We've been watching this happen all year, and teams were laughing at us, thinking it was a fluke. This shit is serious. We beat a seed that's really higher than us that had a pretty good record, And speaking of the Cavaliers, that team is so poorly constructed. You can get rid of like maybe 2-3 guys off that team, to give Donovan Mitchell some help, because that boy is a problem. But I realized by By game three, I realized that this series is going the Knicks' way very easily. Even though we beat them pretty good the first game, second game, they came up with some life, the Cavs. But after that, it was total domination, And even the last game, game five yesterday, it was just like they were ready to go home. I think they knew that it was pretty much done. That team is not that good, man. That team is not that good. It's more Donovan Mitchell being who he is than that team being good overall. But that's all I gotta say about that. I got so many more videos coming, man. We gotta talk about a lot of different things and maybe some miscellaneous stuff in between. But it's your boy Don. Like, comment, subscribe, enjoy these videos, man. New York Knicks stand up. We made it. we made it. We made it. It's unbelievable, man. I just want to see more. But for now, it's your boy Don. Peace. I'm out.